There is perhaps no better example of someone who turned adversity into strength and failure into success than Oprah Winfrey. Her life started in some of the poorest conditions possible in America. Born in the 1950s in rural Mississippi to a teenage mother, she was abused from the age of 9, ran away from home at 13, became pregnant at 14, and lost her baby shortly after birth. Yet she was able to turn things around by the end of high school. She moved to Tennessee to live with her father and made a transformation. She excelled in academics, was active in speech and debate, and won a statewide beauty pageant. She held down a part-time job at the local radio station, reading the news while still in high school, and earned a full scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she thrived. Transformational leaders provide a sense of vision and mission. They have the capability to inspire through communication of high expectations, stimulate the use of intelligence for problem solving, and provide personal attention and coaching for followers. This type of leadership is concerned with emotions, values, ethics, standards, and long-term goals. Charismatic leaders are strong role models for the beliefs and values they want their followers to adopt. They are known to be dominant and have a strong desire to influence others. They also are self-confident and have a strong sense of one's own moral values. No one fits the description of a transformational and charismatic leader better than Oprah Winfrey. As a transformational leader, Oprah Winfrey has a clear vision and mission, best seen in her multi-award show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, whereby she influenced and inspired millions worldwide to dream big. Charismatic leadership is seen of Oprah's dominance as the first woman to own her own network broadcast, changing the lives of millions of her viewers. A difficult childhood, Oprah Gail Winfrey was born to Bernadetta Lee and Vernon Winfrey on an isolated farm in Mississippi on January 29, 1954. She was known as Oprah almost from birth. As a child, Winfrey entertained herself by play acting in front of an audience of farm animals. At 6 years old, Winfrey was sent north to join her mother and 2 half-brothers in a Milwaukee ghetto, an extremely poor and dangerous neighborhood. At 12 years old, she was sent to live with her father in Nashville, Tennessee. Feeling secure and happy for a brief period, she began making speeches at social gatherings and churches, and one time earned $500 for a speech. She knew then that she wanted to be paid to talk. Winfrey said her father saved her life. He was very strict and provided her with guidance, structure, rules, and books. He required his daughter to complete weekly book reports, and she went without dinner until she learned 5 new vocabulary words each day. In her early career, Oprah failed to meet the public's expectations. She had personality clashes with Jerry Turner, who had never wanted a co-anchor in the first place. Unsurprisingly, the show was not a success, and Oprah took the brunt of the blame. She was dropped after just a few months and sent from the anchor chair to an assortment of less prestigious jobs, including writing and street reporting. She remained focused and determined, but she was a slow writer and was constantly being yelled at to produce copy faster. She wasn't much better at street reporting. Once she did a story on a family whose house had burnt down and was so touched that the next day she brought them some of her own blankets and supplies. Her director chastised her for that as well, telling her it was against the rules to become personally involved in stories, and if she did it again, she would be fired. In 1976, Winfrey moved to Baltimore, where she hosted a hit television chat show, People Are Talking. Afterward, she was recruited by a Chicago TV station to host her own morning show. She later became the host of her own wildly popular program, The Oprah Winfrey Show, which aired for 25 seasons from 1986 to 2011. Winfrey moved to Chicago, Illinois in January 1984 and took over as anchor on AM Chicago, a morning talk show that was consistently last in the ratings. She changed the emphasis of the show from traditional women's issues to current and controversial topics, and after 1 month, the show was even with Donahue's program. 3 months later, it had inched ahead. In September 1985, the program, renamed The Oprah Winfrey Show, was expanded to 1 hour. As a result, Donahue moved to New York City. Oprah went on to star in a film based on the Alex Walker 1944 novel, The Color Purple. Her only acting experience until then had been in a one-woman show. The Oprah Winfrey Show became one of the highest-ranking shows in American history, according to CNN, though Oprah's first boss told her she was too emotional and not right for television. In 2011, Oprah was the best paid female in the entertainment industry, according to Forbes magazine, and remains the richest self-made woman and only black female billionaire.
A leader must make decisions, but effectiveness depends on when and how the decision is made, not just that it was made. Oprah Winfrey is living proof that the American dream is alive and well. The illegitimate daughter of a Mississippi sharecropper, she overcame poverty, parental neglect, sexual abuse, and racism to become one of the richest and most powerful women in the entertainment industry.
Regret. What will you regret if you fail to act and are wrong? The more serious the potential regret, the sooner you should make your decision. Repeal. How difficult will it be to reverse course? The easier a decision is to repeal, the sooner you can make it. Repercussions. Who and what else will be affected by your decision? The broader the impact, the more carefully you should consider the decision. Be sure to account for less obvious stakeholders in order to minimize unintended consequences. Resilience. What will be the impact of the decision on your personal resilience and that of your organization or other affected parties, such as customers or suppliers? Always give more weight to the option that is likely to build resilience. Decision-making in a high-stakes, high-pressure situation is never easy. It can make or break your career as a leader. When ideals are shared and mutually understood, it can help you focus on the most critical issues and make decisions. Integrate values into more routine decisions so that your team can internalize them before a crisis hits. As a leader, you need straight talk from your team all the time. In a high-stakes situation, that team may include specialists who are not normally part of your inner circle. Make it clear that you want unvarnished input from everyone involved, and praise those who give it to you. Eat, hydrate, rest. Research on decision fatigue shows that it is harder to make choices when your glucose level is low. Hours in crisis war room can deplete your ability and desire to evaluate options and make the best call. Sleep has been shown to be essential for emptying your brain of all that builds up as a result of the thinking you do while awake, and that can impair your cognitive function. Make sure that you and your team refuel and recharge regularly. Oprah Winfrey has been such an influential figure that being a frequent guest on her show has led to best-selling books and spin-off talk shows for those in her orbit. There have been 12 individuals whose careers have been boosted. The Ellen Show, Dr. Phil, Susie Orman, Rachel Ray, Dr. Oz, Bob Greene, Gayle King, Peter Walsh, Laura Berman, Martha Beck, Marianna Williamson, and Nate Berkus. Great leaders help people reach their goals, are not afraid to hire people that might be better than them, and take pride in the accomplishments of those they help along the way. Oprah is the epitome of a great and successful leader, despite her setbacks along her journey. On January 15, 2008, Discovery Communications, Harpo Productions, and Winfrey announced a joint venture to establish a new cable channel in 2009, known as the Oprah Winfrey Network. On November 20, 2009, Winfrey officially announced that the Oprah Winfrey Show would conclude. In 2011, after its 25th and final season, Winfrey explained that the 25 was the perfect number, the exact right time, and that I love this show. This show has been my life, and I love it enough to know when it's time to say goodbye. The 25th season premiered on September 13, 2010, featuring guest John Travolta and an audience of 300 of her most loyal fans. Failure should not be overlooked in anyone, especially not those we admire. It is through failure that those individuals were able to learn, grow, and ultimately succeed. We know this about ourselves, but even as we learn to accept our own failures, sometimes we don't recognize that the most successful people in the world have had an abundance of failure. Failure is a humbling exercise, both for the observer and the observed, but learning is a humbling process. Once we realize that our heroes are just like us, we can examine how failure drives success. The Oprah Winfrey Show broke record after television record and catapulted Oprah from obscurity to one of the most influential and wealthiest people in America. Several factors contributed to her success, and most people credit her sense of empathy, no doubt stemming from her tough background, as the driving factor behind Oprah's edge as an interviewer and talk show host. She is caring, thoughtful, tough when needed, and genuine. Her secrets were not learned in business school, rather through failure. Follow your passion, don't give up, play to your strengths, pivot, don't quit, and never listen to your critics unless they happen to be right.